Hello, everyone, again. This is Dr. Ian Cyrus continuing the various lessons on Chen, Taiji Chuan, more specifically San Si Ba, which is the Chen Taiji Chuan short form. And this is only the short form. Okay. There's also the 19 posture form, but I don't teach that. I basically teach the short form, the San Si Ba. So the last time we ended with hand and arm covering fist. That's the name of this posture like that. All right. So of course we're going to begin with basic things like standing pole and a couple other basic exercises to warm the body up, okay? Remember the requirements for standing pole? They're numerous, okay? This is standing meditation, if you want to call it that. Seated meditation and standing meditation, you got to progress from one to the other and from standing to moving. So that's the importance of this. So while you're moving, you maintain all of the requirements, such as, tucking the tailbone, extending from the head, rooting in your stance, bringing the breath to the lower abdomen, down to the roof of the mouth, proper positioning of the arms like you're hugging a tree or hugging a jar. Chin slightly tucked, this kind of thing. Chest is somewhat hollowed and the back is somewhat rounded like a bow. Okay, standing pole, next exercise. So warm up the organs. Generate the movement from the waist. Stimulating the kidneys, the Ming Man and heart. Next. Now, a feature of Chen, Tai Chi Chuan, is that the movements are very big and open. They're not collapsed. You want your energy to be moving outwards in all directions. Okay? So, if you notice from this, all of the movements, is have this open buoyancy to it. But even this movement here is very large. But this movement can be performed right here. In other words, the internal workings of this movement is not about the frame of it, but this movement encompasses the same work. So you can do this, or you can do this. Okay, and you'll see how that plays out when we start doing the applications for these types of movements. Okay? One more exercise. So we go from here to here. Okay? All right. So I will go over what we've done so far with the form, and one of my students recommended that I do it front and I do it side, but he recommended that I do it from, I guess, onlooker's perspective. Okay? So, there we go. Okay? And that's where we ended. Just to define or go over a couple of these postures. I'll do this part again. This time I will talk about which posture it is. Okay, so the first part of the form is the opening. Okay, so opening, and then from this point, Buddha's warrior attendant pounds the mortar. Okay, so from here, after you open and you're here, this is what happens. See how my body turns, maintaining that center line. My arms are not changing in and out. My body, the only thing that changes is the attitude of my palms. So from here, my whole body turns. So it's still within my shoulders limits. And then you figure eight and push up. Okay? Then you turn from here, you circle down for that figure eight, and transfer your weight. Step, circle down over the knee, and turn. You step through, and this stance is known as, let's just say it's a cat stance or a tiger stance, where 70% of your weight is on the rear leg, okay? So as you circle down, here's where you are. This is what happens. If you look at this stance, right, and then up, down. So the hand and your foot work together, okay? That whole section from here to here is known as Buddha's warrior attendant pounds the mortar. Okay? The next section is white crane spread its wings. So from here, this is what happens. White crane spread its wings. The next posture is walk obliquely 3 times. So from white crane spread its wings, walk obliquely 3 times. The next posture is brush knee. The next posture is known as single whip. Single whip sort of looks like Okay, so this was your last um, walk obliquely 3 times. Okay, of course that's using the footwork that's unique to the Chen Tai Chi Chuan, right? So here, see how my hand brushed past my knee? So the feeling here is if somebody kicks at you, you block or parry and strike. That's the feeling you should have. So it's like, okay? But from this position, single whip. All right? So the whole idea here is you're grabbing someone's wrist and you striking them or throwing them, okay? I want you, as I'm going through this, to see how you might be able to apply this in a real situation. Martial artists who are watching this, I'm sure you can read into some of these movements what there might be if you were to actually apply them against an opponent. About 80% of Chen Tai Chi Chuan is grappling. So take that as a cue. Okay, so here we go again. The last step from walk obliquely 3 times. Okay, so this is what happens. This next movement goes to picking up the knee and keep your weight down, back straight, up, press down, bring your knee up into the palm of your hand, boom, like that, okay? So that's picking up the knee, as the movement suggests, okay? So from single whip, lower your body, scoop up, push with your legs up, not all the way up, slide your front leg back into a tiger stance and lift your knee. All right, that's picking up the knee. So once you've lifted the knee, the next step is to twist step, wade forward. So that's the next that's the next posture. Twist step, wade forward. Okay? So you pick up the knee, you twist step. All right? So from here, this is what happens. You twist step. See how I'm twisted? And this part is wading forward. Okay? So you can take any one of these postures independently and practice them. Practice of Tai Chi Chuan could be physically exhausting. Most people think that, oh, these movements are so slow and they're so beautiful. It requires a lot of internal work, mindfulness and concentration to do these things properly. Okay? So I'll take it from walk obliquely 3 times, the last. Okay? So from here, again, all right, so the next movement after that is hand and arm covering fist. So this is what happens, right? So from here, you step, see how my arm is covering my fist. And this is what happens next. It's a very explosive movement. Okay, so let me start from the beginning and take you to that point. Just walk through it. Opening. The next posture, Buddha's warrior tendon pounds the mortar. Next posture, white crane spread its wings. Next posture, walk obliquely 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Next posture, picking up the knee. All right? So you pick up the knee. Right? From here, single whip, pick up the knee, twist step, wade forward, hand and arm covering fist, punch. Okay? Now, we'll take it from the punch and add a couple more steps, okay? The next posture is called punch or fist draping over the body. And if you look at the movement, you will see that that's what it is, right? So from the punch, right? This is what, let me do it a little bit at an angle for you. This is what happens. So imagine somebody is kicking or striking you to the leg or thigh or hip, and you block. So sometimes it's helpful to speed up the movement so that you get a sense for what it's doing. And as my sword teachers are teaching me, you move in a staccato style. Each movement or each phase of the movement is clearly defined. At some point you have to get to mezzo and legato, but that's the idea, all right? So sometimes speeding up the movement helps you to define the movement. So in this case, we're here, this is what happens. I change my stance and slightly shift to the left, and this is what happens. Then the next move is this to my center line, so it's like that. Okay, so 1, 2, all right? So it's this goes over your head like you're striking somebody back here. All right, so you see there's a whole lot going on with this one. All right, so starting again. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little complicated, right? Let me do it from the side. 4. So even as I do this movement, my back is straight. You don't want to be like this. All right? So as you do this, see my back is straight, this is what happens. Still straight. This is a very devastating move. It's like you're dressing several opponents at once. Lock. You can break the arm or step in and use this part of your arm to apply an arm bar. That's what this is. Okay? So that posture, again, is fist or arm draping over the body. This doesn't. Okay? So let's take it from the last posture of walk obliquely 3 times. So we're here. Brush knee. Single whip. Picking up the knee. Twist step. Wade forward. Fist or arm or hand covering fist. Thrust. Next move is fist draping over the body. Okay, now one more. This next move is pretty simple. Basically, push with 2 palms. That's it. Okay, simple, right? So, what that looks like from hand and arm covering fist to the point of doing push with 2 palms. Okay? So here we go. All right, so from here, this is what happens. Figure 8. Okay, this way. Proper Chen Tai Chi step. Turn your body and push. All right? So you may want to practice that quite a few times, starting with hand and arm covering fist to push with 2 palms. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, next, turn, step, and push. Okay? Now I'll go through the whole thing from opening to push with 2 palms. Try and follow along if you can. opening. Buddha's warrior tendon pounds the mortar next. That's what I'm doing now. Buddha's warrior tendon pounds the mortar. Next. White crane spread its wings. Walk obliquely 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Brush knee. Single whip. Picking up the knee. Twist step. Wade forward. Hand and arm covering fist. Fist draping over the body. Push with 2 palms. Okay? Happy practice.